Welcome back to Baggies Walk. It's episode 17 of 20 minutes of West Brom chat. This week we're reviewing the Norwich game, bad substitutions, Jed Wallace, and I'm afraid more Heggem love is on its way. Plus, we're looking at the Christmas fixtures for the Baggies, who's out of contract in the June, and the FA Cup third round draw is taking place this weekend. So who do the Baggies want, given the disaster, of course, that happened in the Cup last year? Welcome back to our full team. We've got Ben, Aaron, Dean, and Dan with us this week. Before we get into the football, thank you very much, you two, for this. Did you enjoy the darts more than the Norwich game?
Yeah, 100%.
Oh yeah, definitely. Yeah.
Cheers for I tell you what, I didn't realise either how tall Aaron was or how small Dan is. I actually thought Dan was taller. How tall are you, Dan?
I'm 5'11", 5'11" and a bit, I think. So
right, okay. How tall are you, Aaron?
I'm roughly 6'2", I think.
Bloody hell, right, okay. You made Dan look like a hobbit on one of those pictures. Anyway,
yeah.
cheers for doing that, loving. Right, let's talk Norwich, shall we then? Ben, kick us off this week. First of all, was it good to see some goals at the Hawthorns? I know you didn't win, but
yeah, definitely.
Just get out your seat and cheer for something.
Yeah, I mean, first half in particular, it was a good game of football. Two very similar sides, I think. Both had their moments going forward and had the moments at the back as well, but it was definitely an entertaining game. Could have gone either way. Obviously, we had the disallowed goal, which is, I've seen it, it's harsh, but it's the rules at the end of the day, I suppose. So you'd rather a 2-2 than a 0-0 than what it has been, but still a bit gutted not to get the win, of course.
Dean, are these rumours true that the club are getting the new signage arranged this week and calling it the Drawthorns?
Very good.
Okay.
I did call the one before 0-0, but I didn't call two each on Saturday.
There's lots of people saying, Dean, and again, we're not going to criticise Carlos, we're not going to do it, but substitutions, again, comes up as what wrecked the game for Baggies. As soon as he made the subs, you looked poor. Do you agree this week that with the majority of fans? Yeah.
100%, yeah, that was the turning point. I mean, Fellows particularly, kind of phrase, he had their fullback on toast all game, and he must have breathed a sigh of relief when he took Fellows off. And then Madger as well, who's always likely to get on the end of something. It just didn't make sense. And obviously the subs he brings on are obviously weaker than the 11 he got out there. Otherwise, there wouldn't be subs. So I thought we were playing all right, and I think we'd got the game, And then he has to make all of his substitutions. He has to make them all, and it just killed the game. And then, to be honest, the last second that he killed me, they brought Swift on one of the subs. We had a free kick just outside the box. Everybody in there, chance to win the game, and he just kicked it right to the goalkeeper. Oh, dear. So, I blame Carlos this week, unfortunately, and I'm a big fan of his as well. I certainly don't want him out, that's for sure.
No, we're not having any of that nonsense on here. But, Aaron, this isn't the first time we're talking about this, and that same point was made by Will and countless others. I love Carlos, but it's now countless times his subs have murdered us. We look quality going forward, first half, blunt the second. Andrew says the subs killed us. I thought we made us weaker. We gave Norwich the upper hand. Not sure we needed to make them subs at this time. Swift and Wallace offer nothing. We'll talk more about Wallace in a minute. But have they got a point this week? The moaning half of the Baggies.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, definitely 100%. I mean, it's you'd ask the question: would Norwich take off Borja Sainz? They wouldn't. He's their best player. You don't take off your best players when you want to win a game. Especially attacking players in that sense as well, because they're the ones who win your games. And the countless times this season we've seen Wallace or Dobbin or Swift off the bench and nothing's happened, and it's just the same thing every time. It's insanity that he persists with bringing them players on to try and change the game, but obviously nothing ever happens, and it's the same story again.
Okay. Controversial tweet of the week for you, Dan. Jed Wallace is a shocking player. Our depth is a massive issue right now. The quality drop from Mikey and Fellows to Dobbin and Wallace is a joke, not to mention from Madger to Cole. I really have to feel for Carlos looking at his bench, seeing the lack of quality there. On the Jed Wallace point, are they right?
Nah, I mean, like Jed Wallace is, you know what you're going to get from him. He does work hard, and he is meant to be like the captain of the team, albeit he's not playing as much. But like, he's not really going to get in front of a player like Tom Fellows at the minute with like the form he's just rekindled. Like, but I wouldn't like to call him shocking. I think that's pretty bad, to be fair.
Do you agree with the other points that are made there, though, about Mikey and Fellows to Dobbin and Wallace is a joke, and why is Carlos seeing that as a genuine option to win a game?
To be fair, I do kind of have to slate his subs, especially Dobbin. I mean, I've said on previous episodes I'm not really a fan of him. I just don't see what he offers.
Enough negativity, though. Let's talk positivity. And Ben, you know where this is heading. If we're talking about a positive player on here, it's going to be our man again. I'm boring myself with this, but I'm going to keep going with it because every time I watch you guys, I get more impressed. So the Norwich player there has the ball, and as Josh pointed out, Heggem has no right winning the ball back from here. His ability to recover, Ben, from positions of danger is by far the best I've seen from any defender in this league. I want to ask you James's point at the bottom there. It says, is it too premature to suggest that Heggem is the best signing we've made in this decade? I'm going to ask you that direct.
It's not far off, I don't think. What he's produced at the minute. I mean, looking at that picture there, the ground he makes up is ridiculous, really. The lad's in one-on-one, and he makes up so much ground and times his tackle to perfection. I mean, he's 6'4", 6'5", but he's still got that pace. He's good on the ball, and unfortunately, I think he's going to be a Premier League player before we're a Premier League team. I think, looking at what he's put in so far, so good at the moment, but we don't want to be losing him. So I think we need to get up in order to keep someone like that, definitely.
Dean, a word on the defence before we leave the Norwich game behind. We scored 2 goals, but any concerns about the 2 you conceded?
Always concerns, but in fairness, we got a makeshift defence at the moment. We suddenly lost both our 3 centre halves, so that they haven't done a bad job, and just unlucky. Certainly, one of the goals was unlucky. We got a problem tomorrow night because we got Furlong out, suspended. But I think credit to Styles as well at fullback. I think he's doing a great job, and it's not really his position. He's one of our better players at the moment. So, yeah.
Right, we'll leave the Norwich game there for a second. Aaron, this is how the league table looks at the moment. This is before, obviously, the midweek games. We've asked many fans this, and they've said, do you believe these are going to be the top 5 come the end of the season? Might not be in this order, but do you think, based on what you've seen so far and the depth of your squad, that these will be the top 5 come this season, or do you think you're going to have something to say about it?
No, I think we'll have something to say about it. I mean, it's a long season. I mean, we're only 16 games in, as you can see from the photo there. I mean, granted, there are a lot of good teams up there, and they do deserve to be there. But like I said, we've still got 30 games to play. Like, there's a lot of things that can go right for us, and a lot of things that can go wrong for them. So, hopefully, that's the case, and we can make a push to really stake our names for the playoffs, and even potentially getting into automatics, because the gap there isn't exactly big.
No, absolutely not. And obviously, we all hope as neutrals that the Baggies certainly do it. We'll be along with you every step of the journey. Don't forget, if you haven't yet subscribed, please do so. Christmas fixtures then. Dan, it's Christmas around the corner. Have you got your tree up yet? I can't see it in the background there.
Yeah, well, it's in front of me at the minute. Yeah, it's definitely up, and the rest of the decorations. We've gone like fully retro 90s with the foil garlands.
All right, let's have a look then at the Christmas fixtures and see what they look like for the Baggies. First of all, Dan, do you have any sympathies for players or managers that moan about 9 games in 30 games?
Well, it's what they're paid to do, isn't it, really? But I mean, they should be used to it now, having the fixed congestion around Christmas. But I've said before, I don't really judge teams where they are in the league until after Christmas, just because of the fixture congestion. But looking at ours, there's some very tough games there. It's I think it's going to be a stinker of a Christmas, to be honest. I'm just glad that we had the good start that we did at the start of the season.
Yeah, absolutely. Ben, our Derby County fans, when we look at their fixtures, were fuming that the way the fixtures have been arranged this year, because you have this weird thing where you play one team at the start of December and then you play them 3 weeks later in the opposite fixture. Now, they're not happy because they've got Leeds in that run. You've got Sheffield United. Have they got grounds for a complaint here like you have? It's weird that you play one team in August and can't play them again until April, and then here you are with 3 weeks apart, or does it not matter?
I don't think it matters too much, to be honest. I mean, you have to pay them twice anyway, so whether you pay them twice in a month or twice in 6 months, I don't think it makes too much of a difference. I think Sheffield United are a tough one to have. I think they've got a much better squad than what we have in terms of depth. So if they're the one team you don't want to play twice in a month, then it would probably be them and Leeds, yeah.
Okay. Dean, have you got your tickets for all these games yet? All sorted?
Right, so yeah, off up to Sunderland tomorrow.
All right. Derby on Boxing Day is not a bad trip, though, is it?
There's no trains
up. The Midlands. Oh, of course. And a stupid 5:30 kickoff as well. How many points?
I realised that.
Good job we mentioned it. Aaron, how many points then from 27 available?
I mean, there's a lot of tough fixtures in there, so obviously, you probably are going to see a lot of draws and a lot of, rigid performances to go with that as well. So, I mean, I wouldn't be too disappointed if we, got roughly 12, 14, 15 sort of points from these games, because there are, like I said, a lot of good teams in there to play. But, if like I said before, if we want to make our stake for the playoffs, we've got to start winning games like this, especially against the better teams. And the teams that some of them are above us, like Sheffield Wednesday and Sunderland. So there's a lot of quality there, but also we've got to show our quality to show that we are able to be amongst these lot of teams.
Okay. Well, that's certainly games coming thick and fast. And Dan, do you think you've got the squad to cope with?
Not at the minute, no. Not at the minute, no. As like Dean said earlier, we're struggling now on centre half. So we've got 3 of them out. I mean, Heggem has just moved over, and he's just. I just can't think of any words to describe how great he is. I mean, I'm running out of words. And then Mason Holgate got a cheeky little goal Saturday. I don't know why you don't like him, Mark. I think he's great on him. But I think we just need to maybe, like in the January transfer window, probably bulk up our back four. I think we just need to just sort out our centre halves now, to be honest.
What if Magic gets injured?
Yeah, that could be the problem.
Let's have a look at January transfer window. We'll start the conversation now, or we'll roll it over the next couple of weeks. We'll start with the out of contract players, though, if that's okay, because of course some conversations might need to be had in Mr. Shilan Patel's office. Ben, if you were advisor to Mr. Patel, or those that are responsible for sorting new contracts out, you've got 6 players out of contract in June: Diangana, Swift, Malumbi, Ajayi, Bartley, and Can. Of those 6, which do you think are deserving of a conversation?
Not many, to be honest. I think there's an argument for Malumbi, maybe. I think, on Saturday, I thought he had a good game, and I think he offers something in midfield that others don't in terms of his energy, his box to box, his tenacity. He's a good player to have in there. So he's the one I think at least deserves a conversation. As for the others, we're still waiting for Diangana to reproduce any sort of form. Jury's out on Rakic still. Swift again, blows hot and cold, mainly cold at the minute. Holgate's came in and done well. I know he's early on loan. I'm not sure what the realistic chances are of getting him permanently.
But you can have him.
I think he'd have still, like we said,
you can have him for 50p.
He's came in and done okay. he's not really been tested too much. He's slotted in and done okay. So he'd be a useful backup, I think. But I wouldn't be riding the piggy bank for him, I don't think. But if the option's there, it's there.
Okay, you get my hopes up there, Dean. Sorry, Ben. Dean, same question.
I'm struggling to make an argument for most of them. Maybe Malumbi. I'd keep Malumbi. I do like him. He's 100% effort. Can't shoot, but he does put a shift in. The rest of them, I'm struggling to make a case for, to be honest.
Okay.
Not seen enough of Holgate or Rakic.
Aaron and Dan,
can't keep extending Bartley's contract. He's getting too old now, and Ajay is just always an accident waiting to happen. So, and Swift, now he can do one for me. No.
Okay. Aaron and Dan, of course, we go a year back talking about this West Brom side. And I seem to remember last year Dean Garner featuring in many of our conversations about how good he was. Does he not warrant a chance with a
this season? Nah, he's been cack. he has been awful. I just don't know what's happening to him.
Okay. Aaron?
No, I'd still give him a contract just purely because we paid 18 million quid for him, so we've got to try and get something back from him. If you're going to lose a player like that for free, then you're doing something wrong. But also, I can agree that they might just bite the bullet with it and think, right, let's just cut our ties, start over fresh and not buy players for £18 million again.
Well, that's not going to happen.
Right, I can't believe it. You wouldn't even give him a new deal. That's scandalous. But fair enough. You pay your money to watch him every week, so I will bow to your superior knowledge. And of course, thinking about which positions we need to strengthen in. More of that conversation coming up in the coming weeks. Last bit on this one: the FA Cup third round draw is being made this weekend. I'm not sure whether Baggies could care too much about it, given that your priority is going to be that push for promotion. But if I could give you any draw, home or away, with the teams left in it, what would it be? Let's start with you, Dan.
I'd love to get revenge against the Wolves, to be honest. The way they're playing at the minute, I think we'd walk all over them, even with how poor we are at the minute. I think we'd do a job over at Wolves.
Yeah, still needles with you last year, doesn't it? Ben?
I don't think I'm going to go through Wolves again, to be honest. Still traumatised by that. I think it's been a while since we've had like a big Premier League team, like a Man United away, a Liverpool away, where you send sort of 89,000 fans down there. So something like that would be a bit more appealing, I think. Okay,
Dean.
Just being selfish, really. Somewhere I've not seen Albion play. I'll go for Barrow. I don't actually know if they're still in it.
I don't know.
If not, as Ben said, somewhere Spurs would do me. I've not been to their new ground yet.
Okay, all right. So, yeah. Good shout. Aaron?
Well, I'd like a non-league team if there is one left. I mean, I'm not too sure about who's actually left in the draw, but someone like who's really low down and probably could benefit from the gate receipts. Like we had Aldershot last year, and that was really nice as a fan to watch that and for them to have a nice day out. But I'd like to see us play someone of that quality again, just so it's more so a guaranteed win.
Okay, I think it's Kettering and Wealdstone are still trying to get through to that second round. So, do you fancy going to Kettering?
One of those two will nice. I think Wealdstone will be a bit for that Wealdstone Raider. A bit nice to see.
Things we talk about on this channel. Right, thank you very much, all four of you. We'll catch you on the other side of these two games this week. Enjoy your football. We'll see you in 2 weeks' time. Thank you.